Monaco, today we cruise. Chanel and Virginie Viard go to the mythical Monte Carlo.
Chanel, you know?
The collection is the cruise for 2023.
Iconic.
The Chanel Supermodels, the Chanel Super Ateliers, the Chanel Super Guests.
Je vis ma meilleure vie.
Hello, I'm Loic Prigent. Subscribe to my channel for XXL free fashion content. All access videos to the best of fashion. You can binge on all my other videos and leave a comment about your favorite silhouette, your favorite model, your favorite code, your favorite detail.
Go and watch my new TV show. It's called Nix-Secondi.
Quirky and fun and unexpected.
La fiancée de la France, Vanessa Paradis, is here, along with Kristen Stewart, Tilda Swinton, Caroline de Maigret, Brian Boy. Musician Sébastien Tellier is Monte Carlo ready. Sofia Coppola is here to document the show with her brother, Roman Coppola. Backstage, Virginie Viard is set to show her new Chanel Cruise collection for 2023.
I can see you looking at me and like, what questions am I gonna ask?
Vous avez déjà marché sur des plages en plus ou pas?
Sur les plages, dans le sable, mais au Grand Palais.
Ah oui.
Il y avait les vagues, j'avais les pieds dans l'eau.
Guests are seated there in front of the Mediterranean. It's a place where Gabrielle Chanel came to dance with her friend Serge Liffard. She also had a home close to Monaco called La Posa. Facing the world, ready to conquer, Lolibaya, the supermodel from Lyon. The classic tweed Chanel suit becomes a tweed Chanel tracksuit with coordinated hat from Maison Michel. Monaco, home of the prestigious Formula One Grand Prize since 1929. Virginie Viard tells us with his first look, the collection will be fun and eye-popping. Two-tone shoes, classic bag, all the codes are respected and twisted.
The hat I wanted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she look amazing. Really good.
You're such a hat person.
I know, that's why I was like,
Yes.
I heard a lot of stories before I actually came to witness the show about her relationship with Monaco in relation to Karl and her love for him. I felt the intimacy immediately. You just were like, oh, she really wants to be here. Everything looks like a costume or like a uniform that you would want to wear when you were little, like a little kid. You're like, I want to be a race car driver. Or like, I want to wear a bathing suit with high heels. Like, I want to be Barbie. Like, it all felt engaged and playful and free. Like, it really felt like we're just going.
A giant camellia is camouflaged into a technical tracksuit. At the time of filming, the Chanel helmet was the only for-show accessory and was not scheduled to be produced. This practical silhouette warns you this collection is made to travel.
I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was really easy and flexible and communicative and fun. I thought it was very packable, you know? In every sense, it felt like you could wear anything at any point of the day and mix it up.
Under the tracksuit, the classic Chanel striped marinière got an embroidered plastron, as black and white as the checkered flag of a Formula One race. Her bag is a mini helmet minaudière, and this one will be produced and available. The bouquet is from Le Marié, the feathers and artificial flowers atelier owned by Chanel. Full paillette tracksuit, all over sequins. Her matelassé bag has 2 hearts, like cards in the casino, and Monaco is a casino resort. Whimsy accessories following the theme of a season is a Chanel thing since the 1980s. Can you see the mini Chanel bag on her ring? Number 5 Chanel trompe-l'œil, tweed with a grid of white sequins. The mittens, because Formula One, of course, but also because Karl Lagerfeld, Virginie Viard's mentor, who designed for Chanel from 1983 to 2019. The Chanel helmet everybody will want and no one will get. Pink camellias on the belt, pink bag as necklace, pink mittens. Pink is a Chanel code, along with black and white. First model / celebrity with Jenai Noah, the daughter of French tennis player and singer Yannick Noah. Her bag is a new format and new shape, like a polochon, a duffel. Stella Duval wears a belted tracksuit with a faded tangerine matelassé XL classic bag. Notice the gold camellia minaudière on a strap. Gabrielle Chanel was so proud she had the idea to put her bag on a strap in the 1930s so she could have free hands. Shiny Chanel Club t-shirt, a reference to the place of the show, the Monaco Beach Club. It's here that Chanel's designer Virginie Viard met her friend, the Princess Caroline de Monaco.
Ça va?
A mildly nervous actress, Lina Koudry, walks her first ever fashion show.
C'est hyper émouvant. J'étais là la semaine dernière avec Sofia Coppola, Roman Coppola, on a fait une vidéo. Autour du dîner, on me dit les mannequins comprennent pas pourquoi je défile pas avec elle. Et là, Virginie dit bah vas-y, fais-le si tu veux. Donc ouais, je trouve ça hyper émouvant. Elle avait envie, j'ai dit bah ok. Sur le podium, je suis partie une combinaison blanche avec un top rouge en dessous et mes lunettes de soleil et mes gants à la main. C'est aussi ce que propose cette maison, c'est des vraies relations, des vrais sentiments, une écoute, donc c'est cool.
Gold tweed, gold trousers. She's here to go to the casino. Her bag is a fruit machine with dangling coins. Gabrielle Chanel is famous for a totally sequin jacket that she did for a fall-winter 1934-1935 collection. And when you see the archive, you think it was made yesterday. Glass beads that look like jade. The fantasy jewelry for this collection include this marine theme with golden aquatic creatures. Notice the very Gabrielle Chanel haircut on Raissa Medeiros. It's actually a thing. After her comeback in the 1950s, as a ritual, she continued to cut the hair of her models and her own before the presentation of each new collection. Virginie Viard goes bald, a Formula One red and a Le Marié artificial flowers bouquet. The reference is the Formula One hostesses. And guess what? Virginie Viard used to be one.
J'ai déjà allé des grands prix de Formule 1. Moi, j'ai quand même été hôtesse sur des circuits. Quelle fille a jamais été hôtesse sur un circuit? Non.
I would love to come to the Grand Prix. That's like on my list of things that I want to do. It's like a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. My favorite part about the fitting always is the jewelry and the bags. For me, it's like so fun. You already have the look on, and then everyone comes and adds little touches, and it's so amazing.
The losange quilted leather of the 255 Chanel bag is enlarged and varnished for a new and bigger travel version. The black and white camellia is handmade at Le Marié in Paris in the new 19M ateliers. The Formula One flag goes pop. It becomes this t-shirt with a crystal label where it's written Chanel, Monaco and the exact date 5/5/22. Wear it tomorrow and it's a time capsule. Akon Shanku with a white and pink gingham parka with practical big pockets. In French we call this Vigie. As casual as it's striking, the t-shirt is a dress with a pop print but also appliqué flowers and diamond buttons.
It's like loud, you know, the pink is loud and on my skin too, so I just walk around and like do the most, I guess.
sequin Chanel jacket closed with a jewelry belt. Gabrielle Chanel launched her first fantasy jewelry line in 1924. She joked she dared to wear too much jewelry because it always looked fake on her. She considered jewelry shouldn't trigger envy but amusement. The oversized belt that should only be worn by aristocrats becomes a fun coquetry. Chris Herman wears the Chanel print of the season, damier, checkered flags being waved in the air as a sign of victory. This flag print will come back on many fabrics, like here on the softest silk muslin.
Vous regardez le Grand Prix?
Oui.
C'est qui votre pilote préféré?
Lewis Hamilton. Il est pas mal, non?
This dress in particular was tricky to design. It's splitted at the top, but not at the bottom.
Moi, je travaille en cabine avec eux et moi, je trouve que la passion, ce qu'ils ont pour ce qu'ils font, c'est comme nulle part ailleurs. Vraiment, la passion, l'attention aux détails, c'est incroyable à voir, vraiment.
Dresses for the summer breeze, to make it flow, to give it volume when you walk, to make Vanessa Paradis swoon.
Ce qui m'a fait flasher, c'était les tenues mousseline, les grandes robes en mousseline. De toute façon, la mousseline, ça me rend dingue, parce que ça vole au vent, avec les drapeaux noirs et blancs, mélangés à de la dentelle. Bien sûr qu'on a déjà mélangé la mousseline et la dentelle, mais une mousseline imprimée, et avec une dentelle un peu jaune fluo, qui est très Virginie Viard. Il y a souvent une petite touche de fluo qui vient. Pour le peut-être, j'ai l'impression que c'est comme dans la cuisine gastronomique, c'est pour la petite pointe d'acidité.
Amanda Sanchez, the iconic in-house model, gets the first dress with lace. Multiple metallic bracelets to produce rattle the jingle that goes with the Chanel attitude, le cliquetis iconique de Chanel.
J'ai aimé la simplicité de la dentelle avec justement pas beaucoup de bijoux. C'est quand même assez fantastique d'adapter les modèles à la personnalité des mannequins aussi. Et que chaque fille se trouve à l'aise et que ça correspond aussi à la personnalité et que chaque femme puisse interpréter les vêtements Chanel à sa façon.
With 21 years as Chanel in-house model, Amanda Sanchez holds the absolute record of longevity. Gabrielle Chanel would keep working with some of her models for years and would become godmother of their kids. She would consider them as her daughters, a continuation of her. Straw hat from Maison Michel and matchy silhouette for Mika Schneider, the bag matching the tweed. The simple straw hat was stolen by Gabrielle Chanel in 1910 from the menswear canotier, the boater hat. It was a reaction to the overcomplicated and heavy hats for women at the time. It now looks simple and obvious, but it was a revolution. Also, you can note how the straw hat is worn low on the head. This is another Gabrielle Chanel signature, who hated a hat that could go away with the wind. She was born in Auvergne, a quite windy region of France, and always remembered this. Louise de Chevigny, a Virginie Viard muse. She wears my favorite tweed of the season. The grey is the asphalt of the Formula One circuit, the black is the tires and the tires' tracks on the road, the vibrant red and green are the Formula One cars. Taking a theme literally and pushing it to the limits until it becomes abstract is a signature of Virginie Viard and her Chanel studio. Gosh, I would love to see the fabric brainstorms. Yai wears a variation of the same tweed, with even more colors. It's made of intricate superfine muslin stripes to give it an air of both sophistication and quiet rusticity. Gabrielle Chanel would pick flowers in the countryside and then give them to her tweed makers for the colors. Valeria Buldini wears tweed and muslin, tire and flou all mixed together for poise. Ivanka Smilenko, is it a Chanel suit or is it a trompe-l'œil and a dress? Notice the length of the sleeves, typical of Chanel in the 1960s. This suit, looking almost austere, is another proof of the never-ending possibilities of variations of the Chanel suit. Same mystery, is it a suit or a trompe-l'œil dress? Notice the wide braid, looking very handmade, Chanel sneakers, and this fun bag was the star of the fittings.
There are so many ways of thinking that a bag can be as big as a house or as tiny as a mouse. One man's outrageousness is another man's kind of ease. It's like a code. It's a code of fun that's important for the house, I think. That's the thing about Chanel. It kind of infiltrates into the culture.
A Chanel suit for tennis. The inside of the pleats is embroidered. K-pop star J-Dragon pays a visit to the fittings and is left speechless.
아, 용 같은데? 용인데 있잖아, 용인데 약간 드래곤 같이. 왜냐면 여기 if you want, really take it, okay.
In the 1910s, Gabrielle Chanel took the simple jersey sportswear fabrics and, revolution, used them in a luxury wardrobe. 100 years later, Virginie Viard does the opposite, taking sequins, precious lace, and using them in a sportswear wardrobe.
Vous allez voler quoi?
Moi, je vais voler plein de sportswear, mais assez sophistiqués. Des petits clins d'œil au tennis, au ballet. Je trouve ça sexy, rock'n'roll et très élégant en même temps. Et c'est très Virginie Viard. Je trouve qu'elle a encore une fois utilisé les codes de la maison. On attend vraiment elle.
C'est à la fois rempli d'histoire, un moment d'émotion, en pensant forcément à Karl, à Mlle Chanel et à leur présence ici. Mais c'est aussi une façon pour Virginie de montrer sa créativité, de montrer comment elle voit la croisière et comment elle a envie de faire percevoir la croisière à toutes ses clientes qui regardent la collection avec beaucoup de respect, beaucoup d'envie de surprise, envie d'être surprise par cette collection.
There is an earring. It's a back earring. It's also really connected with the location. Like I'm really in vacation, so no picture. Bye bye.
The most classic Chanel jacket in its proportions. All is calibrated here. All the lines are respected at the shoulders and even when a pocket is added.
Les poches, on va faire poche poitrine et poche normale. 16 x 2 pour les poches du haut et les poches du bas. C'est 16 aussi. Donc on peut mettre poche 16 x 4 si je préfère.
Gabrielle Chanel's obsession with the suit was her way to subtract her customers from the laws of ever-changing fashion.
It's very Monaco and it's very Chanel. The look is awesome. Like I feel like I'm about to play tennis even though I'm really horrible at it. Also, I get to wear trainers, which I'm very excited about. When I first started in January modeling, I had to learn how to walk in heels because I had never worn heels once in my life. So when they told me I was wearing trainers, I was just very, very happy. I can actually, focus on having a good time and not falling over.
Pleated ruffled plastron of a frayed tweed for Mona Tugart. The shorts are shorts, but Carole Bouquet is on it.
Bien évidemment, moi, je ne mettrai pas les shorts, je ne peux pas les mettre. Mais la veste qui va sur le short, je mettrai un pantalon. Parce qu'il y a des vestes absolument somptueuses. Et il y en a une rose que j'adore, avec un col, avec des nœuds très joyeuses. Mais bon, la veste arrive là. Ça, je peux plus faire. Hein, donc, je mettrai la veste sur un pantalon.
Ben
voilà.
A bomber jacket with embroidered shoulders.
C'est le haut de la manche. Ça va monter ici. Et ça va monter comme ça. Ça, c'est le col. Enfin, comme ça. Hop. Et la manche. Et voilà un blouson.
Il est fini là, c'est bon?
Il est fini. Il peut défiler. C'est réglé. Voilà.
cardigan punctuated with black buttons over a sparkly swimsuit with a tuxedo motif made of crystals. La croupière chic du casino va se baigner. All over CC in white pearls, hypnotic for sure. The double CC appeared for the first time on the cap of the perfume bottle of number 5 in 1921. Mini classic bag in metal on a strap. Leia Fez is quite nervous before her first Chanel show.
Quoi le ressenti là?
Le ressenti hyper excité.
Ok.
Finalement, c'est pas de la peur, c'est de l'excitation.
Okay.
Un trac, mais très positif.
Leia Fez is the granddaughter of legendary model Wallis Franken, famous for being the muse of Claude Montana. Wallis Franken did some memorable Chanel runway appearances, here opening the ready-to-wear Spring-Summer 1994, looking surprisingly like Gabrielle Chanel.
Qu'est-ce qui vous plaît dans la mode de Virginie Viard pour Chanel?
C'est que c'est portable. Enfin, vraiment, moi je porte ces pièces pratiquement tous les jours et c'est un plaisir parce que c'est tellement naturel. Et il y a toujours une vraie bonne vibe que j'aime. Elle a un vrai fil rouge qu'elle tient et on n'est jamais déçu. Enfin, moi personnellement, je suis assez fan.
Alors
Écoute, je verrai les images, mais ça m'a fait mon sport.
Vittoria Ceretti with a CC LBD, Chanel little black dress of the lightest muslin.
Did you ever play to the casino?
I only tried once. I won like the first time and then we lost everything. And I was like, okay, this is not made for me. I'm lucky in love, but not at the casino.
Very good sentence. Ouais.
The CCLBD opens on a tuxedo swimsuit, Jade Nguyen proving the versatility of a cruise wardrobe. Yann Beyboun and Gilles Cortleve. The reference here is again from the early archive of Chanel.
We are wearing the OG outfit. So apparently when Chanel had the first cruise in 1919, there was the pyjama that...
1919?
Yeah, 1919. So a very long time ago. That's almost 100 years ago.
Sequin jacket looks almost like a perfecto jacket, but no, the reference is one of the most classic and classy you could imagine.
Là, il y a cette veste-là qui a été portée par Grace Kelly. C'était Grace Kelly, en petit blouson, en paillettes, revisité carrément. Ouais. Ça va être beau.
Yes, the Grace Kelly, Princesse Grace de Monaco, the mother of Caroline de Hanovre, grandmother of Charlotte Casiraghi. She wore this version of the jacket. Muse got the most embroidered silhouette yet. Monaco is known for its jardin exotic, and we're 40 kilometers away from the Chanel fields of jasmine and roses in Grasse. Gabrielle Chanel loved to cut petals in the fabric of the dress and have women covered in petals, covered in flowers, des prairies ambulantes. Dress here becomes undulating, uncatchable liquid fabric, looking like nocturnal water at midnight, and indeed Monaco after hours inspired Virginie Viard. Her bag is a casino chip, un jeton de casino. Number 5, of course, superstition, the belief in magical powers, unknown forces is a constant in the history of the House of Chanel. It is made of a myriad of silk ribbons, all different. As a necklace, a mini version of the cult giant bag that stole the show for ready-to-wear Spring-Summer 2013. Darling, I shrunk the Chanel bag. Chérie, j'ai rétréci le sac Chanel. If you need positive energy in your backstage, please hire the formidable Blesnia Miner.
what are you doing in Monaco dressed like that?
I like arriving and people are like, who's that? You know, because I deserve it. And because I'm in Chanel, baby.
The brassière, the pockets, the bag, they are all invaded with an equally naive and sophisticated field of flowers.
Ça fait référence à quoi selon vous?
Ça, mais ça c'est la chemise de Karl.
Ah oui, c'est ça.
The reference here is the long white shirts Karl Lagerfeld would use at night, his nightgowns. He would wear them in the morning and would draw and draw and draw until the sleeves were colored with pastels and crayons. Karl Lagerfeld lived for years in Monaco in a high-rise building and in La Vigie, so mentioned that sits above the Monaco Beach Club, right here. And actually, we got to visit La Vigie, where Karl Lagerfeld shot many Chanel ad campaigns. Chanel had reconstituted just for the night 2 of his bedrooms with similar 18th century furniture as he used to live in.
Claudia et Mickey.
Claudia.
Sweeping views on the sea, books everywhere, bathrooms bigger than your apartment.
Vous connaissez bien la Vigie?
Un petit peu, ouais. C'est assez étrange de revenir là comme ça, là. Beaucoup de souvenirs.
Ah oui, c'est vrai?
Ouais, ah oui, j'ai même habité dedans. Une nuit, j'ai dormi dans une salle de bain dans la baignoire.
Ah,
tellement il y avait des bruits et tout bizarre dans la maison.
In the 1920s, Chanel would put artificial flowers on her dresses to kind of hide how streamlined and minimal they were. Virginie Viard is proving today the trick still works. The simplest dress becomes a quiet wonder. Another moving reference, Olga Rudnicka, a muse of Virginie Viard, wears as a belt a stylized replica of the wide silk ties the couturier Karl Lagerfeld used to wear. Karl Lagerfeld met Virginie Viard through a friend of her parents who worked for the Prince Régnier in Monaco as she was looking for an internship. A summer tuxedo full of freshness.
How was it?
It was fun to watch it with Caroline and Carol, and it looked beautiful. I loved it.
This dress is another homage to one of Karl Lagerfeld's obsession, which was bed linens in crochet. He would buy vintage crochet bed covers almost by the bulk. He would have his beds covered by them and use them for inspiration. Here, the crochet is entirely covered with sparkly sequins, the rusticity becoming glittery, a typical Chanel visual effect. Mariam de Vinzel looks like a Chanel bride and she loves it. Rianne von Rompuy in a sequin crop-topped Chanel suit.
How do you feel with this?
Amazing! I mean, what a look.
What are you buying?
I'm buying everything. The whole city.
Gabrielle Chanel grew up in the countryside, surrounded by flowers, fleurs sauvages. Now, looks that you can imagine on Caroline de Hanovre. Notice the belt on the sequin trench on Mika Arganaraz. For her summer 1927, Gabrielle Chanel put the same belt on all her dresses, even the evening wear, calling it la ceinture uniforme, the uniform belt. backstage is bursting with excitement. Virginie Viard is about to take her bow.
Monaco, c'est l'histoire de la maison. Gabrielle Chanel venait dans les années 10, 20, 30. C'est là où elle a rencontré le duc de Westminster, c'est là où elle a rencontré Dimitri de Russie. Après, Karl avait sa maison ici. C'est quand même une histoire très liée, Monaco, à la maison Chanel. Donc je comprends qu'elle soit émue.
She comes back very much moved. The Princess Caroline de Hanovre, a friend of Virginie Viard, of Karl Lagerfeld and of the House of Chanel, is here to greet the designer.
Very, very Chanel. I love the metallic trousers, the tennis racket, badminton bags are really cute. There's a lot. I mean, the way Virginie does Chanel, all the layering, the styling, the accessorizing, it's just genius.
Charlotte Casiraghi, ambassador of Chanel and Monaco, is one of the best suited to break down what just happened.
Il y a tous les, ce qu'on pourrait dire, les clichés qu'on pourrait imaginer par rapport à Monaco, tout ce qui est iconique, qui pourrait vite dire ok c'est un peu cliché. Et là en fait Virginie a réussi à donner une poésie, une nonchalance, un mystère à tout ça. Et c'est pas juste du cliché. Et c'est ça qui fait la différence à mon sens avec Chanel, parce que tu peux faire une combi Formule 1 et ça peut faire un peu too much. Et là il y a un truc où il y a une vraie attitude et quelque chose de classe, quoi. Ça m'a touché énormément de voir qu'elle était émue et je pense qu'elle a vraiment réussi à nous surprendre justement.
Voilà, this was my Chanel report for the cruise 2023 in Monaco. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see the fashion, the backstage, the action, the fabrics, the details. Binge on all my other videos, hit the thumb up and the notification bell, and spam the comments with tons of cool emojis if you got till the end. Bye!
Please subscribe to Loic's YouTube channel. It is the best place for all your fashion needs.
You're gonna find all this fashion backstage here, and it's the best.
ファッションとファッション動画が好きな方、ロイク・プレジョンさんのチャンネル登録お願いします。超楽しいです。
Bisous.